Kim. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was okay. Frustrating though. Just as frustrating as last week when I was trying to get my veterans to the activity.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, let's talk about that in 10 minutes when we have our huddle. We always start off with our bright spots, and I know that really does cheer you up.
Okay, you're right. I probably need to focus on something more positive.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being on time for our huddle today. We're going to start off with our bright spots, like we usually do. I've been really impressed how active you've been with this. It seems like you're really enjoying finding our bright spots and then sharing what they teach you.
I have to admit, I was skeptical at first, but it's been really fun. For the first time, instead of always looking for what's wrong, we're focusing on what's right. It's been a real eye-opener.
Yeah, a real eye-opener.
Maybe I'm starting to see the point. I thought this was going to be another one of those waste of time improvement projects, but this seems to be different.
Great. So now let's talk about last week. I heard that the Patriots coach visited, and I heard that it went really well.
I did my observations down the hall from the living room. I could hear the coach. It sounded like a lot of fun, but my engagement scores were bad. 3 of my veterans stayed in their rooms because they couldn't attend.
Well, I was doing my observations in the living room when the coach came in, and the veterans were loving it. Just look how high my engagement scores are.
When I went by Mr. Smith's room, I asked him why he didn't attend because he's such a big fan. You know he had that big foot wound, and he said that he didn't want to inconvenience anyone by asking for help. Mr. Smith, the coach is here. How about we get you up and get you ready to take a picture with the coach?
I don't know. My foot is hurting. I don't think so today. You guys are so busy with everybody else. I really don't think so. Not today.
Okay, if you're sure.
I'm sure.
Well, he does have a point. It is a hassle to get him in and out of that bed and in and out of that chair.
Well, yeah. Well, I would have been happy to help you, or I've done it myself if I'd known he wanted to attend the event. I guess it just never occurred to me to ask him.
And another thing, I asked Mr. Palmer. He said that no one ever told him about the coach's visit. And Mr. Ortega just didn't feel well.
Okay, so let me get this straight. It sounds like the coach's visit went really well. So that was a really good bright spot for us. But you know, we've got a lot of events coming up, and we've got to figure out a way to get our veterans involved if they want to be involved.
We definitely have some communication and mobility issues.
How about we let our veterans know well ahead of time of any event so we can see if they're interested in going or not? I know not every veteran wants to go to every event, but I would feel bad if we left someone out that wants to participate.
I've tried that before, but they forget or they change their mind. It's such a waste of time. And what about that veteran who just doesn't feel like it?
You know, Jody, I see where you're coming from, but we've got to give our veterans a choice, and sometimes that means reminding them more than once.
So like with Mr. Smith, maybe we could ask the coach to visit him in his room. It would have just taken a few extra minutes, and I know it would have made his day.
Okay, this is great brainstorming, guys. Y'all have come up with some really good solutions. So listen, we've got a kids choir coming next week, and you know, we usually do that in the activity room, and we serve cookies and juice. So we've got to figure out a way that if the veterans can't come to see the kids, that we can take the kids to see the veterans.
You know, I know Mark in volunteer services, and he's kind of hot. So I'll be happy to take the lead in arranging some extra help if we need it.
And I can make sure the veterans are reminded twice, maybe 5 times that the kids are coming.
And I'll talk with Rec Services to let them know that the kids can visit and spend time room to room.
Fabulous, everybody. Okay, so now let's talk about unannounced survey readiness.
The choir kids are lost.
What?
I'm just kidding. They were with Mark from Volunteer Services. He's taking them on a tour of the CLC before the concert starts.
The choir's ready.
Oh, great. Let's go. So are there any veterans in their rooms?
Only Mr. Ortega, but don't worry, Mark is all over this singing parade thing. He took the kids to Mr. Ortega's room earlier, and he was so excited. And they even gave out little American flags.
And I reminded Mr. Palmer this morning 3 times about the concert, and now he's out on the front row with a big smile on his face.
This never would have worked so well if we hadn't talked about what worked and what didn't work last time.
See, guys, this is what huddles are for. Jody, what's that big smile on your face?
I kind of like this huddle thing.
Only because you got to talk with Mark.